Hello, Internet Deadly Friends. My name is Rich. Thank you so much for joining me. Wanted to do a new episode of Terrifying Trinkets, the badly shot YouTube show in which I talk about horror collectibles such as toys and movies, and mainly toys and movies. So this is a bit of a DVD and Blu-ray haul. We'll start off with unquestionably the best movie of this trio. It is Godzilla, one of the greatest monster movies of all time. Really fantastic film. This is the Criterion Edition Blu-ray. I actually bought this secondhand for $10, and if you know anything about Criterion DVDs and Blu-rays, they are very expensive. So it was cool to find this at that price. It is numbered $5.94. Now, Godzilla, I know a lot of people, when they think about Godzilla, they think about sort of it being campy and silly. And admittedly, that's what a lot of the movies, there are a lot of campy and silly Godzilla movies, sometimes on purpose, sometimes not on purpose. Whoops, let's try that again. Neat. That's cool. Anyway, but the original Godzilla movie, the Japanese film, there was an American version in which they spliced in Orson Welles, just for the American audiences. But the actual, you gotta read subtitles, Japanese Godzilla, is a very, very serious movie. This was a country that was devastated by an atomic bomb, and here's a monster movie about a giant lizard that was essentially created from atomic energy. So clearly there was a lot going on with this movie. And Godzilla, he's kind of portrayed as a good guy in a lot of movies. Godzilla is not nice. He's like Jaws. He's just a thing that wants to destroy. An excellent, excellent movie. If you think Godzilla movies are silly, and there's a place for silly and campy as well, but if you think all Godzilla movies are like that, definitely check out the original Godzilla. Or Gorija, as it is in Japan. I'm probably saying that wrong, but Gojira. Gojira. Anyway, you know it is Godzilla. Definitely, if you've never seen Godzilla, give it a chance. An excellent, excellent movie. Moving right along, now I found that at a pawn shop here in Canada. These are some movies that I found at a Walmart in Orlando. So if you're in the US, you'll probably find these films in your video section at Walmart. In Canada, I have not seen these for sale anywhere, so be aware of that. Here is the Hellraiser Collection, and this has all of the Hellraiser movies after Hellraiser 2. So you get the terrible ones. So I have Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 already. Undoubtedly the best movies in the series. And I'm being a little harsh on Hellraiser 3. This is the main reason I bought this. This was $5 at Walmart. And I really just wanted Hellraiser 3. I did have Hellraiser 3 on DVD, and then I ended up selling it, which was kind of stupid. So I wanted to get Hellraiser 3, and I thought, well, if I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more movies for free, that's more than worth it. It also includes, no, it doesn't include, there was a Hellraiser pseudo remake, I guess, that's not on here, but all of the best of the worst of Hellraiser is on here. Like I said, Hellraiser 3 is pretty good, and then they just get worse and worse. Hellraiser Bloodline, Hellraiser Inferno, Hellraiser Hellseeker, Hellraiser Deader, I don't think that's a word, and Hellraiser Hellworld. I may not have seen that one, but I think the rest I have seen. So, like I said, you really only need Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2. Hellraiser 3 is nice to have. The rest of these are horrible. I'm not even sure I'm going to rewatch them. Hellworld I might watch. When 5 hardcore internet gamers are invited. Okay, no, I'm not going to watch that one. No, I probably will end up watching all these, but there you go, the Hellraiser Collection. Keep in mind, Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 are not on this. And finally, this looks strangely familiar. A movie a DVD set that had been on my radar when I heard about it. Strange Things, 11 movie collection. This has nothing to do with Stranger Things except for Mill Creek trying to make a dime off Stranger Things. And I could have sworn it actually said Stranger Things 11 movie collection, but no, it's just Strange Things 11 movie collection. Clearly trying to milk the Stranger Things cash cow. However, and I'm a fan of Stranger Things, so this is almost like having, like, Star Wars fans sometimes will collect bootleg Star Wars action figures. I feel like this is a bootleg Stranger Things DVD. What's great about this, though, is it's 11 movies. It cost $10 American. I have not seen any of the movies on this, and some of them I had never heard of. So what do you get? And they're all pretty much 70s and 80s. I think just 80s, kind of B-movie, drive-in, grindhouse type stuff. So Pulse, starring the Lawrence brothers, Joey and Matthew. I don't think I need to say anything more, but I will. In today's world of modern conveniences being 1988, everything we rely on is run by electricity, but what happens if the power we take for granted turns against us? I've heard good things about that, and the cover art to the DVD is actually from the Pulse movie poster, so I've heard that's pretty good. Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. It's a sci-fi thing. All I need to know is that Molly Ringwald is in it. And I may have seen a trailer for this. It was in 3D in theaters. When I saw Jaws 3D when I was a kid, I think I may have seen the trailer for this. Crawl. I'm ashamed that I've never seen Crawl. Journey into mystical time and place. A mystical time and place that belongs where extraordinary creatures of myth work their incredible magic. And a horrific, omnipotent beast is the ruler. So kind of a barbarian sorcerer flick from the 80s. I've always wanted to see it. I've just never gotten around to seeing it, so I will now finally see it. My mom's a werewolf. Now we got some Crown International movies. Kind of a comedy, but John Saxon's in it. So I'll give it a watch. The Hearse, I've already watched Hearse. Underrated flick. Really good. A young woman inherits her aunt's home and moves in after a bad divorce, but rumors of witchcraft and mysterious visions haunt her and foretell of dangers. That's a pretty good flick. It was pretty good. Lurkers, I started watching this last night and fell asleep. A woman who had nightmarish childhood due to her abusive mother has become engaged to be married and begins experiencing strange occurrences. It's kind of a cross between Rosemary's Baby and some other things. I had a really good comparison. But not a quarter as good as Rosemary's Baby, or even the movie I was also going to compare it to that I can't remember. I mean, it's campy. Again, it's a Crown International picture. I'm going to attempt to finish it after I film this video, because again, I did fall asleep before the end of it. Slipstream. Bill Paxton and Mark Hamill made a movie together that I had never heard of, and it is Slipstream. I was really excited to discover this. Like I said, Bill Paxton, Mark Hamill in a sci-fi movie together. It also lists Ben Kingsley and F. Murray Abraham in the cast. They just have cameos, but that's an amazing cast. In the future, when the Earth has suffered an environmental disaster, a fugitive has been captured by a pair of cops with the intent of bringing him in for the huge reward. Yeah, it's terrible. It's a disaster of a film, but it has Mark Hamill and Bill Paxton, so it has that going for it. Mutant is basically a zombie movie, but a zombie movie I had never heard of. Not great, but it was fine. Warriors of the Wasteland is the rippiest ripoff that ever ripped off a Mad Max movie. It's an Italian Mad Max ripoff, but Fred Williamson's in it, so it's not bad. I mean, it's fun. If you're into B movies, it's not bad. Alien Contamination is another Italian ripoff, this time of Alien, but they only had a budget to rip off the alien eggs and not the actual alien. So there's a lot of exploding alien eggs and not a lot of aliens. But there might be some. Ian McCulloch's in it, though, from Fulci's Zombie, so it's worth a watch. And Eternal Evil, a Canadian flick, and I love me some Canucksploitation. A bored TV director is introduced to the black arts and learns to separate his spirit from his body. Unfortunately, while he is sleeping, it roams the streets in a murderous rampage. So, yeah, Canadian movie. Karen Black's in it, which is cool. From the same director of My Bloody Valentine, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Eternal Evil is not, but it's, again, if you're a horror fan and you're looking for something to watch, it's worth it. It's decent. None of the transfers on this DVD are great. I mean, these are mainly public domain flicks that Mill Creek threw on this disc. Some are decent, but like the Eternal Evil transfer is terrible. The Alien Contamination is pretty bad. Actually, most of the movies on this bottom part all look like VHS transfers. So we'll see. Slipstream wasn't bad, and a lot of them are full screen. So this, I mean, again, this is $10, 11 movies. You get what you pay for. I think it's 3 discs. So there you go. I mainly got it for the cover, and I did want to check out some of these movies that I hadn't seen and some I hadn't heard of. So there you go. There's my horror and monster DVD and Blu-ray haul. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you have a scary good time, and until next time, I will see ya.